What's poppin'? It's your boy Cairo, and I am back. Yes, I am back after another one of my super long hiatuses, but I am better, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly why that is. Some may like to call what I had a spiritual awakening. I like to think of it really as unlearning and relearning myself through spirituality. I had a couple situations that jump-started the journey, but nonetheless, it happened, and I'm better. Sit back, relax, and enjoy my little story time. Alright, so let me break down exactly what the hell happened to Cairo over the last couple of months. In order to tell you guys the beginning of this journey, I have to go a little bit further back, all the way back to my childhood, to just get a basis, a little foundation on why it is that I even had the opportunity to explore spirituality the way I did. Being raised Christian, going to church, doing all those, Christian things. I loved the idea of God. I loved the idea that I had, protection, and I had just, it was a belief that as long as you're a good person, you go to good places. But I also had a lot of problems with a lot of the standards that Christians held. And one of those standards was sexuality and gender identity. It was very frowned upon to love certain genders if you are one gender, and so on and so forth. That was one thing that I would question often because, it was a whole, if God loves everyone, why are some people left out? Especially if, I'm one of those people. That made me not only hide my sexuality, but, made me feel like if I did indulge in exploring my sexuality, I'm going to the big burning hell place down underground. And I didn't want to go there. So, like I said, hid a lot of things aside, tried to be as Christian as possible. From there, it got a little bit harder to just really stay into Christianity, because a lot of the things I saw in church were a lot of things that would go against, standards. Another one of those standards was how I just saw people move around one way in church but be a totally different way outside of church. It was confusing as a child to, hear one thing, see the other, and be told something else. It was a circle of some BS, let's be honest. But that's the kind of, religion that I was raised to believe in. I asked a lot of questions. And yes, I got notes, because it's not a long story, but I gotta make sure I hit some points. As I got into my teens and eventually into college, that's when I started exploring my sexuality, realizing that no, it's not a phase, and yes, my experience is more enjoyable with certain people. Eventually ended up coming out, and with me coming out, it wasn't the warmest welcome from my family to let it known that I was a part of the community. But I did it. It was tough, but I did it. I managed, got through it, but I let go of a lot of my Christian standards. I just started not believing a lot of the standards, basically. After coming out, of course, I'm gonna be more comfortable with myself, yada, 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 meet this girl, love story, yada, yada. It's a beautiful thing. I'm just saying yada, yada, because I could talk about that situation for years. When I think back now, she had a lot to do with my growth in loving others, my growth in relationships, my growth in communication, family, so on and so forth. She just sparked a lot of growth in me, which later on, I had a belief that I had met my twin flame. We weren't even together anymore by the time I was, thinking that this is my twin flame. It's just a lot of the situations we were going through. Just a general sense of a twin flame, what society will play it as is two souls, or one soul divided into two entities, into two individuals. With all the qualities and with everything that was going on, it was lining up with what, I was reading on for twin flames. So naturally I'm thinking I found it, which is a beautiful feeling, by the way. It feels awesome. I also gained access to some psychedelics and some other drugs, and I'm not at all promoting the use of drugs at all. You guys need to do your own research, and you guys need to take your own precautions. Be safe. Just be safe. I'm not promoting drugs. I'm not saying go do it. I'm telling you my experience. So, with that being said, my first experience with hardcore drugs was with Molly. I believe the appropriate name for that is MDMA. All safe. I was being safe, by the way. I had a lot of fun. My first little experience. A little bit too much fun, but it was fun nonetheless. Another side note, back when I was like living in my apartment, I was going through a lot. I was not mentally all the way there, and then drugs were introduced. I didn't lose my mind, but I didn't stop right away. It was more or less, I like this feeling more than feeling depressed, and that's where the problem came in. The next hardcore drug that I ended up trying, well, this actually moves us into the psychedelic realm. The first one I tried was LSD. I'm gonna try to put the formal name for it right here. As of today, I've already had like maybe 4 or 5 trips. But my first trip, it wasn't too crazy. Nothing much really happened. I mean, I just remember feeling like claustrophobic because I was taking the BART train. Once I got out into nature, and like it was fine. Like everything was a little bit more like semi misty, but like vibrant, like radiant. Yeah, that's a perfect word. Things were more radiant. So that was pretty cool. My second trip, my first trip I did it with my best friend. The second trip, another good friend of mine. It didn't go into their system the way it went into mine. It kicked the. I'm gonna have to do a separate video on my second, third, and fourth trips, because those were the things that kind of really kicked things into gear with my awakening. My second trip, I can just generally say, I forgot to mention something before I move on to the LSD, because I lied about something. The next thing that I actually tried after the MDMA was actually shrooms. I didn't like that. I didn't like it very much. I guess it's because my best friend told me that it's technically poison, and then when she said that, all I could think about was Soul Plane. I was just like, well, I just poisoned myself. Luckily, I did not die, but it also wasn't the best experience for me. I just felt like I was just going to die every 15 minutes. I didn't like it. That's probably why I didn't remember it, because it wasn't the best. Back to the LSD. This kicked my ass. Okay. I had my first ego death. It got me asking a whole lot of questions, like why this, why that, what is there that we can't see, all type of stuff. It was a ride. My third trip, once again with my good friend, it kicked in for him this time, so he got to really experience it, and it was funny because at this point I was kind of used to what it felt like. Even though I was kind of used to the feeling and everything, I was dealing with some situations. I don't know, I guess I kind of was asking myself, why I was going through this certain situation while I was on the trip, and in doing so, I think I might have met myself. And what I mean by self, I mean my conscience. And I know this is about to sound so crazy, and this is why I had a hard time deciding if I was going to talk about this, because I know I'm going to sound fucking crazy, but I literally had a conversation with myself, and not myself, myself, like 2 separate words. And I say that because I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like, I wasn't like, okay, I was crying. That was one of those moments I was super high, like thinking about stuff. I'm like, damn, like why am I going through this stuff, yada yada yada. And then out of nowhere, I just like started talking. I went from like not bawling to, I was not crying that heavy. I was kind of crying that heavy, but I wasn't crying that heavy. I ain't no crybaby. It's like something was speaking out of me. That voice would start talking, and I no sensation of tears, like complete full awareness of the fact that words are coming out of my mouth. When I would stop talking, I would instantly go back to crying. I know I sound crazy. Am I gonna really upload this? I'm gonna try to finish this because I just know I sound crazy. Some real shit was being said, like some shit I really didn't need to be worrying about was said, and like lo and behold, those words, like the things that were being said, like it came to fruition. So it was from there that I really started doing a bit more research on other experiences and I was just trying to see how crazy I was. Like, am I losing it? Like I said, I was going through a lot, just really trying to figure some things out, and things just were not going my way. Yeah, I mean, that conversation really did help. Regardless if it was fake or not, it helped me. And it was right about a lot of things. So it got really hard for me to just say there's not much to these psychedelics, because there is. I took this 4th trip, 4th of July. My purpose, honestly, was to see the fireworks. I just wanted to see how much more vibrant and beautiful they could be. I got that. I got a little bit of that, but I also got a lot more. It was the first time that I ever saw auras. People have auras. It was my first time seeing them absolutely clear as day. It was during that trip that I was around a lot of drunk people, and every single person who was drunk had a very, very red aura around them. And also was the trip that I realized that, and I'm about to sound crazy again right now, and you can turn off after this if you want to, I get it. I'm not trying to impede on anyone's religion, but I do want to say it was the trip that made me realize that one is God, and not the physical entity God, we as a world. It's hard to like really put into words what I'm trying to say, because I don't want to come off as an asshole, because I'm not trying to say like I'm God, like I can do all this. I'm God, like I'm like a literal piece of the creator, making me part. It's a lot to process. If you're hearing this for the first time, it's probably, I can only imagine, imagine me, Kristen, believing God, and God, of course, to going to me being one and the same. Like, it's mind-blowing. My life has changed for the better, and I say that with so much pride. I say it with love, honestly. I say these things all with love, because I am understanding of a lot more things now. I'm understanding the connections that we all share. My life is so much different. I don't want to say 1000% like better. Every day is a learning experience, and just the way I'm taking things on, it's beautiful. I mean, after that 4th trip, I don't drink. I will not drink. Point blank, period. I have no interest in it. I stopped caring, and that sounds harsh, but it's true. Like, I don't worry. The care that comes with worry, I don't do that anymore. Because I care about things, My excessive anxiety, I can't remember the last anxiety attack I've had. It's been that long. And my ability to redirect my anger is improving. I ain't perfect, but it is so much it's going in a different direction. I got back into routine, my workout routine. I'm home gym, but I'm back in a routine that's getting my body back in shape, and I'll show you guys some pictures of my progress. This was me around July 15th. This is me this week. Another reason I see a lot of progress is because I've also decided to engage in a vegan lifestyle and no longer eat meat. It's tough. It's very tough, because I kind of went cold turkey, but I've been doing this for almost a month now. The results speak for themselves. Like, I feel better, just mentally, emotionally, physically. I just feel better. Just started a calisthenic routine. I'll keep you guys updated with that as well. I started going on nature walks every week. I've started meditating. I need to do it more often, but I've definitely started, and I love it. It's a beautiful thing. I've got 7 chakras, of course. I'll do another video on it if you want to know more about this tattoo. Just let me know. Also got this tattoo. It's healing, and this is samadhi, and Samadhi, Samadhi, not somebody, which some people think I say in Sanskrit. Basically, Samadhi is the feeling you get when you reach a certain inner peace. Some people like to correlate that with aligning all your chakras. Starting to grow my own vegetables and fruit and such. Really trying to be more self-sufficient, self-dependent. I keep my crystals on me. Got a bag of them right here. I love these things. I'm taking a course on ancient Egypt. Ever since my trips, I've just felt like a really strong connection to Egypt. I'm really interested in visiting pyramids of Giza to be exact. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm sorry for disappearing again, but I needed this to go through this to be able to be like this today. It's so hard to explain exactly how I feel, but just know it's a good feeling. I haven't felt this curious since, I was a kid. So, gaining my curiosity back. I love how everything that I'm learning today, all of it ties back into my brand, curiosity. I'm really going back to my roots, honestly. I just feel refreshed. I feel reborn. A lot of old parts of me did have to die in order for me to feel this new birth that I feel. So yeah, I'm excited. I don't know for sure, but I'm juiced. I love y'all, and I will be speaking with y'all real soon. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, because I will be posting more. Go ahead and hit that notification bell so you can know when I go ahead and give some more story time. Peace, love, and all that is positive.